Hey guys, let's go to more news from our Canadiens team, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Canadiens trade proposals, NHL trade deadline edition. The Montreal Canadiens will look to sell several assets before the NHL trade deadline. With the March 3rd deadline quickly approaching, we will analyze the proposals submitted by fans while keeping in mind NHL trade value is constantly changing from day to day due to the endless variables in play. As a reminder, I tend to overvalue players on another team, whereas Canadiens fans tend to put a little too much value on their players, which makes the experiment rather interesting. On the surface, this is probably fair value, even if Suzuki was drafted in the first round, 2019. Injuries have slowed his development, and he might be due for a fresh start with a team that can offer opportunities in the NHL, which isn't the case for the Hurricanes. Unfortunately, the Hurricanes simply do not need another center. At present, they have Sebastian Aho, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Jordan Staal, and Paul Stastny playing down the middle, with players like Derek Stepan, Seth Jarvis, and Martin Necas playing on the wing despite also being able to take face-offs. Simply put, they're already blessed with a wealth of talent at center, and Dvorak wouldn't move the needle much as a winger. This is a reasonable proposal, seeing as both teams could stand to use some reinforcements. Allen has better numbers than both Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Jonathan Quick while playing on a much worse team. He's not a significant upgrade on Luukkonen, unfortunately, and seeing as he's almost a decade older, I don't think the Sabres would want to pay a third-round pick for a small upgrade. As for the Kings' proposal, I love it. Chromiak is an interesting prospect who is producing at a very encouraging rate in the AHL. However, we have to keep in mind Peterson is signed to a ridiculous contract, 3 years, $5 million annual average value, which makes him a significant negative asset. To absorb that type of contract, I assume Hughes and company would request more than a good prospect. I'm purely speculating, but for 5% of the salary cap, for several years, I'd assume the Canadiens would demand a very good draft pick. And you fan, what do you think of Christian Dvorak's departure from Canadiens? Leave your opinion in the comments.